Yes, my beautiful people, it's creamslice. What is going on? So today we are taking a break from the Arc 3.0 Titan build that swept the nation by terror and destruction. We are not using storm grenades today. We are icing it up, guys, and that is right, we're on the Stasis subclass. Now, this build is one of my all-time favorite Titan Stasis builds. It's definitely endgame viable, and guys, this build, it equips you with absolutely everything you need in higher tier content. Resilience, infinity grenades, protect your fire team. You have so much power behind all of your weapons. We've constantly got infinity font of might proccing, infinity high energy fire, and they both stack, so we can just use whatever weapons we want. But I had one weapon in mind, and I covered this a few seasons ago, and it is still top tier. Ag clearing, DPS, everything, guys. You do not want to miss out on this build. Back up, I hear you with the Ashen Weight build, bro. The next build on the channel will be an Ashen Weight Titan build. Hold tight for that one. Let's get this build. Right, guys, so the absolute pivotal part of this build is going to be the Hoarfrost Z. This is the perk Glacial Fortification. What this does is it replaces your barricade for a stasis barricade, guys. So it will just lay a big fortress of ice all around you. Now, it's up to you what you want to do. You can use this for cover. You can shatter the ice for crystals, and this is what I'm saying, this is absolutely pivotal for this build, because just breaking some ice, you can get a lot of things proccing with this build, but you will be a dummy not to use this with stasis. You have to use the glacial grenades with this build. Basically what this does, it creates a wall of stasis crystal, it blocks damage, it freezes targets, and you can shatter them as well, and they will leave crystals behind, and we'll go over what we're going to be doing with these crystals. Absolutely vital that we run tectonic harvest, like I was saying, when we're going to be shattering our stasis crystals. What this will do is it will create stasis shards for us. Second aspect is absolutely amazing for any content in the game, and this is Diamond Lance. What this does, any enemy that is defeated by any stasis weapon or stasis ability will create a stasis lance. Now, you can throw this at enemies. It's great for stunning overload champions or any kind of champions, and you can just, it's great for ad control. You can slam it into the ground and shatter everything. This is a definite must-have, and you can create stasis lance for your entire fire team. So guys, when I was telling you that the Hoarfrost is absolutely pivotal for this build, you see all of these fragments on this screen right now. We have 5 fragments that we can slot. You can proc every single fragment by throwing your stasis barricade up, guys. This is how powerful. I just want to reiterate how powerful this build is, because there's no running out and getting elemental wells. You don't have to kill anything. You can proc all of these fragments by just shattering your stasis barricade, guys. So the first one on the menu is Whisper of Chains. This gives you a damage reduction, especially when you throw down your stasis barricade. You're going to get damage resistance straight away with Whisper of Chains, but you're also going to block incoming damage as well. Whisper of Shards, shattering a stasis crystal improves your grenade recharge rate, and this is no bullshit, guys. This is fast as hell. And the greatest thing about this build is that you can alternate between throwing your glacial grenade down, then you can swap to throwing your stasis barricade down, and when you're shattering all of the crystals, you are making shards that will just regen all of your grenades. So you can use these back to back, guys, and have everything proccing constantly. This is what I'm telling you, it's like an infinity loop of having powerful weapon DPS and resistance. Whisper of Conduction, it gives us a nice +10 to intellect and a nice +10 to resilience. Try and max your resilience and your discipline out with this build. And the last 2 fragments here, guys, I want you to understand that with the exotic that we have, this takes this build to a whole nother level. So with firstly we've got Whisper of Fissures. increases the damage and size of the burst of stasis when you destroy a stasis crystal or defeat a frozen target. Now the AoE damage is absolutely madness on this. I hear a lot of people saying that this does not work with certain weapons. Tested it, and Whisper of Rending does work with Ager's Scepter. Kinetic weapons do increase damage to stasis crystals and frozen targets, but these two are absolutely amazing with the build. My chosen exotic for this build had to be the Ager's Scepter, guys. You all know this weapon is absolutely amazing, and the greatest thing about this weapon is that when you get the catalyst, it's absolutely mental. So what this actually does, Ager's core final blows with this weapon, they just shatter enemies, they slow enemies, and they shatter your enemies completely, feeding into our abilities. And not only that, when you have the catalyst, I think it's called will form, basically when you get at max super and you hold square, it will load 200 into your chamber, and it sends a massive beam out that just freezes and shatters everything. And I'm sure it's like an 80% damage increase. We're going to maximize this increase with the damage with some of the mods we're running as well. And guys, when I said we're going to have infinity font of might and infinity high energy fire proccing with an Ager's Scepter and with the final form of it, you do not need a barrier weapon. So barrier champions, guys, get absolutely deleted. I'm going to go over some of the weapons quickly and the mods, most importantly, because every single mod that I have chose for this build has an important part to play in the role of this gameplay loop. If you take a look at the bottom here on Harmonic Siphon, equipping multiple copies of this mod increases the potency of the generated orb. But what a lot of people don't realize is that collecting orbs of power, they add to your super energy, and when you equip 2 of these, guys, it boosts your super bar all the way up, guys. I'm not even joking, guys. If you've not tried equipping 2 Harmonic Siphon mods, go and give it a go. So, and then the last mod that we have there is Elemental Charge. So when we pick up an elemental well matching our subclass, we become charged with light ×2. We have Grenade Kickstart, so when we're throwing our Glacial Grenade down, we will get an increase in our regen through a Grenade Kickstart. Elemental Shards will do, like I said, guys, just by standing next to your stasis barricade and shattering it, you create stasis shards, and these act as elemental wells with this mod equipped. We're going to spend our stacks of charge with light with high energy fire and font of might. So like I was saying, guys, we constantly have font of might and high energy fire at all times, guys. I think it's like a 45% damage increase. You could throw on a stasis primary with this weapon or stasis rocket launcher like the Palmyra and have an increase, 45% damage increase with that, and you have explosive light on there as well, which is absolutely insane for boss DPS. And then we're just absolutely maximizing the hell out of Ager's Scepter with this build. So when we get the Ager's Call, an 80% damage increase when our super's full, then you have high energy fire and font of might proccing on top of that, which gives it an over 100% damage increase, guys. It absolutely melts everything. And distribution, so when we use our stasis barricade, it will increase our grenade recharge rate. Really high quality build there for any activity in the game. You will be running through everything. But yeah, the double Harmonic Siphon is an absolute game changer. So you heard it here first. I'm creamslice. Peace.